Targeted by fraudsters.
It was like a shock, no way.
A coffee shop's caution for other business owners. Plus, forecast uncertainty.
This winter, it's an active storm track.
Experts warn of veritable winter weather conditions ahead. And rare research.
They were just incredibly in awe of the fact that it survived.
Conjoined twin salmon hatchlings spotted in LaSalle.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us both on CTV Windsor and AM 800. An alarming statistic. More than 23,000 patients have died while on wait lists for surgery in this country in the last year alone. Here's CTV's Heather Wright with our top story.
Debbie Fuster was expecting a straightforward triple bypass operation, a few days in hospital and then recovery at home. Except the Manitoba woman died before ever getting the surgery.
It still feels like shock.
Daniel Fuster says doctors told his mom she needed heart surgery within 3 weeks. She was left waiting for nearly 3 months.
There was some major mess ups that resulted in her file basically not going to where it needed to go.
Fuster is not alone. According to public policy think tank secondstreet.org, nearly 25,000 patients died in Canada while waiting for surgeries or diagnostic procedures between April 2024 and March 2025. But the organization warns the numbers are likely higher, as many provinces don't track these deaths or only collect partial data.
Fundamentally, these are embarrassing numbers, and I think that's why governments are not keen to go out and track them carefully.
Second Street is calling on all provinces and territories to track and disclose these deaths. They also want to see hospital funding tied directly to performance, a reform they believe will improve wait times.
It's crazy to keep doing the same thing, throwing money at the system and hoping something will change.
Another proposed reform is Debbie's Law, a Manitoba private member's bill championed by the Fuster family, which would require health authorities to inform patients when life-saving treatment cannot be provided in a timely manner.
Debbie's Law is not perfect. It's not going to solve every problem, but it is a great starting point to begin asking for transparency.
This year's numbers mark a 3% increase from last year, and according to Second Street, since 2018, more than 100,000 people have died in Canada while waiting for some sort of surgery or procedure. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
A Windsor coffee business thought they were about to brew up some big business, a chance to serve up their coffee at a Spitfire game. But it turned out to be a scam. CTV's Sanjay Maru with the warning they're now sharing with others tonight. Sanjay.
Well, this scam all stems from an email the owners of that coffee cart received late last month, enticing them with the opportunity to set up their cart here and sell their coffee to customers at all remaining home Spitfires games. But it turns out none of it was legit, but they didn't realize it until they had already paid for a spot here. They call their coffee magic, but an opportunity to get their brew in front of more customers turned out to be nothing more than a trick.
It was like a shock, no way. It's something that hits you a bit.
On October 27th, the owners of Montanero's Coffee received an email appearing to come from a Windsor Spitfires official. The message offered a game day spot, first as a one-day showcase, then as a full-season vendor promising big crowds and new customers. The sender requested a $500 fee, saying they could not tour the location until payment was made, warning spots were limited.
So we were okay, let's do it. So we transferred the 500, a copy of our insurance, and get everything done for him.
The sender, identifying themselves as Spitfires official Steve Horn, confirmed payment was received on November 8th. Then communication stopped. This past Monday, the owners emailed the contact listed on the Spitfires website and received a response that left them shocked. Reading, quote, "Thanks for bringing this to my attention. Unfortunately, this was not myself or any member of the Windsor Spitfires that sent out this email." The owners say the experience has taught them to think twice and verify any business deal before moving forward.
If we was in Colombia, unfortunately, if we got this kind of emails, we will check it out before, right? Because you say, okay, maybe it was a fake. It's fake. But it's Canada. We believe in people here.
In a statement, the Windsor Spitfires say they would never enter a vendor agreement without a prior in-person meeting, and legitimate communication would only come from the team's official email domain. The bank was able to block the involved credit card, preventing any further loss to the local small business.
There are too many other ways to have money instead of hurting people. But I feel grateful because it's a way to learn.
And the owners of the coffee cart say while they're upset to have been scammed out of $500, they're more so disappointed in the principle of all of this, that someone could stoop so low. Going forward, they say they hope others learn from their mistake so other business owners do not fall for a similar scam. Stefanie.
Incredibly frustrating. Sanjay Maru, thank you for this tonight. In other news, $26,000 in undeclared cash has been seized at the Windsor-Detroit Tunnel. Canada Border Services Agency says the U.S. and Canadian cash was seized on November 19th and is suspected to be proceeds of crime. CBSA says no criminal charges were laid. If you're planning a trip across the border this U.S. Thanksgiving weekend, expect some company. The Windsor-Detroit Tunnel is bracing for one of the busiest stretches of the year, with sports, shopping, and holiday travel all stacked into the same 3-day window. Tunnel staff say weekends are still a little softer than pre-pandemic, but big events always pack them in, and this weekend is loaded. A Wings game, a sold-out Lions game, Black Friday, the Pistons, and holiday events on both sides of the border. And it's not just Canadians heading for the States. They're seeing plenty of Americans crossing over to celebrate with family and friends as well.
It is probably our second busiest 3-day stretch of the year. When the Blue Jays are in town, that's busiest. But U.S. Thanksgiving, also super busy. It's not just Canadians going to the U.S. to celebrate U.S. Thanksgiving or the Lions. It's also a lot of Americans that are going to come here to celebrate with family and friends. And, you know, their U.S. dollar still works pretty well over here. So you're still seeing a decent amount of travel both ways.
This takes us to our question of the day. Have you crossed the Windsor-Detroit border in the past 6 months for leisure activities? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you partake in Black Friday shopping. Out of almost 600 responses, 8% say they shop in store, 22% browse online, 10% do both, and the remaining 60% don't shop Black Friday sales at all. The Prime Minister today offering an economic lifeline for steel products, now coping with 50% import duties. CTV's Judy Trin breaks down the measures to help Canada's steel sector.
After enduring half a year of Donald Trump's 50% tariffs, Canada's steel industry is teetering on the edge.
Our order books are not being filled up at this moment because nobody's investing. It's such a real perilous time.
We must protect our workers and our industries who are most exposed to U.S. tariffs.
The Liberal government is introducing new measures to reduce the amount of foreign steel. The countries that Canada does not have a free trade agreement with will face lower quotas. Steel from countries like China, Taiwan, India, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates will now be limited to 20% of what they sold to Canada in 2024. The government estimates that could boost domestic steel sales by $850 million. Other countries with free trade agreements will be capped at 75% of what they sold last year. But U.S. imports won't be capped. But all American steel products will continue to face 25% tariffs.
This government will do whatever it takes to protect our sectors and not just protect them, but to help them reposition for the new global economy.
The government will also subsidize the cost of transporting steel and lumber by rail across the country. Internationally, when it comes to big defense procurements like submarines, Canada will continue making Buy Canadian a requirement.
We will absolutely make sure that there are steel and aluminum and sometimes, depending, lumber requirements, because we need to protect jobs in these tariff sectors.
Those were the carrots, but there's also a stick. The government announced it will end remissions or refunds for Canadian companies impacted by U.S. tariffs by January 31st. Mark Carney also said that he spoke with President Trump last night and that he will be headed to Washington next week as part of FIFA World Cup events. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
And CTV News Windsor spoke with local steel magnate Barry Zeckelman about the announcement. Zeckelman has been lobbying for a Buy Canadian policy for government-backed builds, even going so far as to offer a $1,000 reward for anyone who can prove foreign steel is being used on a project. So far, he has paid out more than $10,000. He's out of the country today and wasn't available, but he says this is a move in the right direction. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me now for our first look at the weather. And Gary, we're talking about being extremely windy and cold out there.
You're right about that. Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening, folks. This spin of low pressure responsible for this profile, 70 to 90 kilometer per hour winds with snow moving into southwestern Ontario. The good news part of this story is the worst of the weather in terms of high amounts of snow as well to our north and west and moving ahead, likely not to be draped across us. The bad news is temperatures continue to plummet. We are cold for the next few days, well below seasonal. I'll break down the entire forecast just ahead.
Carrie, as you just mentioned, colder temperatures and more snow. Canadians may want to brace themselves as winter tightens its grip earlier than usual. CTV's Chris Campbell took a closer look at the Weather Network's winter outlook.
For Windsor-Essex, winter may once again come down to being right on the edge. According to Doug Gillum with the Weather Network, the region sits right along the dividing line between normal and colder than normal winter temperatures this season. But forecasts are leaning cold, especially early on.
We expect temperatures to be close to normal, but more likely to tip to the cold side of normal. We do expect that December and into early January will be colder than normal.
Gillum says he's more confident about what to expect in the first half of winter.
The first half of winter will tip colder than normal.
After a couple of fairly mild winters and below normal snowfall last season, this year's forecast points to a more active storm pattern.
This winter, it's an active storm track. We are forecasting near normal snowfall, just to the north, above normal snowfall, but we'll have to wait and see on specific storms. But the potential to see more of a classic or traditional winter than we've seen in some recent years.
That puts Windsor in a familiar but tricky spot, often close enough to snow systems to feel the impacts, but not always solidly on the cold side. And for drivers heading outside the region, winter prep may matter more this year.
If your winter travel plans take you out of southwestern Ontario, you definitely will want the snow tires, and potentially you'll want them even if your commute keeps you close to home. But for Windsor, it's usually we're marginal, but the potential for a much snowier winter than we've seen in a few years, that bar has been set pretty low.
But will Windsor see a white Christmas? Gillum says the odds are better than usual.
Our odds are probably around about 50-50, but the combination of a colder than normal December with an active pattern certainly increases our odds of a white Christmas, and especially if you are headed north, the odds are very high to near 100% if you're headed up to ski country.
In Windsor, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs is continuing their fight against two agreements at the University of Windsor. In the summer of 2024, the university inked two agreements with the Students' Alliance and a Liberation Zone team. It ended the 9-week protest on campus by the pro-Palestinian group. Included in the agreement was a pledge to not pursue any agreements with Israeli institutions. The CIJA asked the Ontario government to overturn the agreements lawsuits, arguing the agreements are discriminatory business practices. When that failed, the group asked the divisional court to overturn the minister's decision. That failed as well. The CIJA is also appealing both agreements to the Ontario Court of Appeal. A date for hearing has not yet been set. A new cross-border shuttle service is working on making improvements after some Windsor residents were stranded in Detroit over the weekend. Lynx was offering a special events bus on Sunday for the Jonas Brothers concert at Little Caesars Arena. However, some concert goers had to find their own way home after the post-concert bus left early. According to Lynx, the bus arrived at the pickup location at 9:50 p.m. and left at 10:30, with roughly 18 passengers on board. Lynx says those who got on the bus told the driver that the concert was over, but the concert officially ended at 10:35. A small handful of people who stayed to the end did miss the bus. Lynx says they usually wait 30 to 40 minutes after the event ends, but with concerts, it's hard to know when that is. The company adds they may need to switch to set times so that transit users know when the last bus will actually leave. Meanwhile, changes to the provincial gas tax funding formula are having an impact on Transit Windsor. City Council was told the service is projecting a budget deficit of almost $5.5 million. Now, two main factors here: a revenue shortfall due to the province's allocation and methodology of the gas tax program, and a drop in international students. The city is advocating for stable funding that reflects the increase in ridership. LaSalle is cracking down on off-road vehicles, including all-terrain vehicles, extreme terrain vehicles, utility terrain vehicles, and off-road motorcycles. A new bylaw prohibits ORVs on highways, sidewalks, boulevards, parks, trails, and public property without permission. Late-night riding is also banned from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., except for farming or snow clearing. It also gives police more power to enforce and issue fines. Mayor Crystal Meloche says the town has been receiving complaints from farmers whose crops are being destroyed by people riding throughout their property. The idea is a year or two from being a possibility, but the city is gathering feedback on a proposal to convert some one-way streets to two-way traffic. But one city councillor is also trying to calm fears that residential streets should be part of that change.
Certainly not something that was on my radar, and I can tell today that it's certainly not in the appetite of anybody in the residential areas, but never was it intended to be that way. And I don't think the city's budget would have allowed for the infrastructure for that to happen, because widening some of those roads would be a lot of money.
Ronaldo Agostino says the review is focused on selected downtown corridors, not neighborhood side streets, with the goal of improving safety, business access, and walkability. At last evening's open house at the Caboto Club, display panels outlined key factors staff are studying, such as traffic speed, pedestrian safety, and cycling routes. The city argues two-way streets could slow drivers down, improve visibility for storefronts, and help visitors navigate the core more easily. Staff also point to research suggesting crime happens on one-way streets more often, with two-way traffic also allowing for a boost in foot traffic for businesses. Another factor being weighed is emergency response, with two-way routes providing more direct paths when streets are blocked or detoured. Ultra-rare salmon discovery in LaSalle still ahead on Windsor's news leader. What students uncovered. Is Canada's housing market about to rebound? The new outlook when we return. And tomorrow, downtown Windsor turns Honolulu blue. Our newscast is preempted by the football game, so watch for our full coverage online. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Now to a rare find at the University of Windsor, one that has students and science lovers buzzing. CTV's Travis Fortnum shows us the conjoined twin salmon hatchlings.
For nearly 30 years, University of Windsor students have been raising and studying fish hands-on here at the Freshwater Restoration Ecology Center in LaSalle. And every so often, they come across something that stops even veteran researchers in their tracks.
This year, we came across a very unique gem. We found the twin salmon babies very early on in our research.
Conjoined twin salmon babies found by grad students just this fall while sorting through thousands of newly hatched Chinook salmon, a rare developmental quirk that only shows up maybe once in every 10 to 50,000 hatches, and a first for this facility.
They were just incredibly in awe of the fact that it survived, first of all, and secondly, they just sort of thought it was incredibly biologically fascinating because it's so rare.
The team snapped a quick photo and then put the tiny twins back with the rest of the hatchlings to give them the best shot at survival.
Very rare, and also very rare to find one that's still alive and surviving.
As for how long they'll make it, Pitcher says they should be okay for now, but their future gets trickier as they grow up.
At least through the juvenile stage, but at some point when it runs out of yolk sac, it'll struggle to separate.
Still, he says the find has been huge for students.
They learned a lot from this. They certainly learned that the health of the fish is really incumbent upon the people taking care of them, and they were able to essentially keep this thing alive, even though generally in the wild it wouldn't make it.
Travis Fortnum, CTV News.
The Canadian housing market could be on the upswing next year. As CTV's Scott Hurst explains what could prompt a sales rebound in 2026.
It has been a turbulent year for the Canadian housing market and really the Canadian economy as a whole. But the housing market has shown signs of momentum late in the year, with home sales picking up. According to the latest national numbers from the Canadian Real Estate Association, home sales recorded monthly gains in 6 of the last 7 months, and that's expected to continue into next year. RE/MAX is also out with its 2026 Canadian housing market outlook, and the projections could have a lot of people getting off the sidelines. According to RE/MAX, sales are expected to pick up on average nationally almost 3.5% next year, with prices expected to fall some 3.7%. And according to the survey, 10% of respondents plan to buy a home in the next 12 months. That's up from 7% earlier this year, and half of them are likely to be first-time home buyers. RE/MAX is citing added inventory as one of the factors that's been moderating the price this year, with listings in 2025 increasing year over year in a majority of regions across the country. The added supply has been a factor in pushing prices lower, coupled with falling interest rates that are becoming much more favorable from a buyer's perspective. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
The 58th annual Windsor Santa Claus Parade will be larger this year than it has been in the past 20 years. 75 entries will line up in downtown Windsor on December 6th. Along with Santa, there will be 8 bands and some brand new characters. The parade through the downtown core begins at 6 p.m. at Olette and Giles, heading north along Olette Avenue to Pitt Street. Due to the size of the parade, fans should expect it to last nearly 2 hours. The DWBIA and the Downtown Farmers Market will also host a holiday market in the Pelisher Street parking garage that runs from 5 to 8 p.m., featuring local vendors, artisans, live music, and food. Only in its second year, LaSalle firefighters are pleased with the success of a recent fundraiser. Between November 13th to the 15th, firefighters and volunteers distributed newsletters and accepted donations, raising more than $72,000. It will be donated to St. Andrew's Anglican Church, the Community Food Bank, and the LaSalle Hangout for Youth. And a quick reminder, Windsor's Goodfellows paper sales start tomorrow. This tradition started in 1914 and continues today. Paper sales run from Thursday through Saturday. Goodfellows say 95 cents out of every dollar goes directly to those who need it in our community. Strength in the base metals sector helped Canada's main stock index rise. In Toronto, the TSX gained 280 points. In New York, the Dow added 315, the Nasdaq also up 189. The Canadian dollar gained a quarter cent today. On commodity markets, gold is up $25 an ounce and oil added 70 cents a barrel. From paralysis to progress, Her recovery is remarkable, but the discrimination she faces is real. Later, the story of how many are fighting bias.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Diane DeMena for this beautiful image at sunset. We'll talk strong winds, cold temperatures, wind chill values into the minus double digits. Can you picture it? The update next on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Gusty winds out there. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather. Gary.
Boy, those clouds racing overhead. Of course, at the surface, we're feeling the cold and wind combined. So the special weather statement is just a continuation of what we were dealing with yesterday. Wind gusts now potentially in the 80 to 90 range. Obviously, that could do damage to infrastructure. And temperatures, well, it's been warm. The 10.2 came in just after midnight. A very mild late evening yesterday just carried over into early pre-dawn. Wednesday, it's just gotten colder since then. Now we're looking at an evening temperature around 0 or -1 between now and midnight. The air quality, really not an issue. It's been good in the green zone, a low number, better than a high number from 1 to 10. We're at a 2 today. And of course, wind gusts and the flurries, which started at around 3 o'clock this afternoon. The wind gusts projected in the 65 to 75 range through to about 10 p.m. Right now, temperatures, well, we've been hovering around +2, both in Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent, and the surrounds. That's 36 degrees Fahrenheit, cloudy, windy, and cold. And those winds are making +2 feel like about -6 to -5 as we go from west to east from Windsor towards Chatham, Kent. Polar vortex, an area of cold air circulating around the Arctic Circle. Well, sometimes it breaks down, and that's why the cold air has moved south, well south of the northern latitudes, and that's why this system of low pressure is now producing lots of snow across the upper Midwestern USA into the Great Lakes. And that's why we're seeing a swirl of flurries now through Thursday. And it will still be windy. Northwesterly and westerly winds could mean lake effect snow across Lake Huron, Georgian Bay, Lake Ontario, and Lake Erie, and Lake St. Clair. The snow for tonight, a light dusting. So too for tomorrow. It's still windy through 8 o'clock, 10, and midnight. By midnight, down to about -1, feeling like about -8. Here's the breakdown, our 7-day forecast, courtesy of Enercare. We're looking at +1 tomorrow, flurries, high probability of that. The early morning feels like about -9 to -10. Flurries on Friday, +1. Flurries on Saturday and Sunday, a bit warmer, +2, then 4, and then a break. Mixture of sun and cloud. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, -1, -1, and -2. Very dynamic cold air weather is upon us.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
A 2022 StatsCan report showed 1 in 5 young people identify as having a disability, and they often face complex levels of discrimination. CTV's Pauline Chan has more on a new initiative aimed at helping.
It was a brain infection that left Hannah Boama with permanent cognitive and physical damage when she was just 17.
Damaged the right side of my brain, which caused the left side of my body to be paralyzed.
Over the past 8 years, she made remarkable progress, even working at her master's now at U of T. But she says that progress has also led to discrimination, especially by those who don't know her story.
For some reason, people don't believe me. when I tell them I have a disability, it's very invisible to them, even though there's moments where my limp very much shows. So a lot of the discrimination I have is when I'm needing support, I get turned away, even if I'm like crying.
And she says being Black, being female, and being young contributes to the discrimination she's had to deal with. That's why she hopes a new anti-discrimination resource hub developed by Holland Bloorview will help support young people like herself.
We asked them about their experiences and they told us this is what they needed.
Sally Lindsay says it's meant for people aged 15 to 24, as well as parents and others.
It'll direct you to the basics of what is discrimination and ableism and inclusion. And so then it's subdivided by resources for youth and families, or for if you're a service provider or educator.
Bring as many voices as possible and resources as possible to support people out there who didn't know that there is actually help to support people like them.
The new hub is launching this week as part of the 20th annual Bloorview Research Institute Symposium. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
So, can you guess what happened in this building 100 years ago today? The answer is coming up in On the Sidelines. Stick around.
We are on the sidelines with Bob Belichico tonight, and of course, every Wednesday. Now, Bob, tonight you're starting with something that happened on this day a very, very long time ago.
Very long time ago. 100 years ago today, the first legit hockey game was held at Windsor Arena. Now, there were a couple of games before that, but those were feel-good games. Check this out, though. This is a flyer posted by Windsor Museum today on social media. A couple of senior teams broke the ice, but the first legit game was played between the Victoria Cougars and the New York Americans. The game must have been a lot faster back then. What's with the 8:15 start? Now, the first National League hockey game was played at Windsor Arena a year later. Detroit Cougars, now known as the Red Wings, squared off against the Boston Bruins on November 18th, 1926. The Spits were tenants between 1975 and 2008.
Historically significant, but makes it even more special is the Detroit Cougars played their first year at Windsor Arena as they were waiting for the Olympia to be built, and the Detroit Cougars became the Detroit Red Wings.
And they're celebrating 100 next year.
It's going to be a big deal, and Windsor Arena is going to get some love.
I love the history. Now, speaking of the Spits, they're hosting the Owen Sound Attack tonight at the WFCU Center. Their lead atop the West Division is now only 2 points over Flint. The Firebirds are rolling right now, 9 wins in a row.
Onto the wing, Greentree shoots and scores tonight from the captain.
Now, Spits captain Liam Greentree has been steadily climbing the ladder and is within striking distance of becoming Windsor's all-time goal-scoring leader. He recently passed Tim Finley, who is now an assistant coach at the University of Windsor. He also jumped over Taylor Hall, who plays for the Carolina Hurricanes, both with 123 career goals. Now, Greentree has 124. He's 29 away from the great Ernie Godden's mark of 152, 26 away from leapfrogging his current general manager, Bill Bowler.
It's been a great 4 years, and you know, that's not something that I really have been focusing on or anything like that, but, you know, it's obviously come up a few times, and, you know, it's pretty cool to be in the talk for, you know, most goals and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, and, you know, we got a lot of year left.
Hot dogs, get your hot dogs. Yeah, that's right. It's a bucket dog night at the WFCU Center along with Cans for a Cause. The Spits are selling thousands of hot dogs. Would you like, what do you like on yours? I don't know. We put that question to the players to find out.
Well, I'm a little different. I don't know if many people do this, but I put mayonnaise, ketchup, and onions. A little different, but I love it.
On my hot dog, I put ketchup, mustard, and onions.
I put on my hot dog onions, mustard, ketchup, and if there's cheese, sprinkle it on top.
Ketchup, bacon, and some cheese on it.
For me, I'll probably go ketchup, mustard. There's some chili there, you know, throw some chili on it, but I'll probably just go mustard, ketchup.
That is a very hard-hitting question, Bob.
Oh, I know, right? It's all about the hard-hitting news over here.
Yeah.
But no, I like the chili.
Okay.
Mayo.
Anyone who knows me is going to laugh. So only ketchup on the hot dog, but then I also squirt ketchup on the plate. So I have the hot dog with ketchup, and then I dip it into the ketchup on the plate as well before I
You never know what you're going to learn. That's interesting.
On a side note, let's talk about the Lions. They do have some catching up to do against the New York Giants last weekend.
Yeah, they did last weekend. It was a game where Windsor's pride was beaming. I'm telling you, it was so much fun. Here's Holy Names grad Theo Johnson prior to Sunday's game at Ford Field. Now, the Giants lost, but Theo made some highlight reel catches like this one in the fourth quarter on 3rd and 17. Wicked catch. It was Theo's first visit to Detroit since being drafted by the Giants in 2024. His friends, family, and even his grandmother were in the crowd.
It was just such a good family moment for us to be there with him. And he played well, too. So he had some big catches and did his thing. So I know he felt good being at home. You know, he's been gone for a while on his journey, Penn State and now in New York, and, you know, gets lonely sometimes. So be back around family, had some friends in the stands, so.
Theo's doing great in the NFL, and his brother Dom is doing great things here in the community. He's been doing a lot of things. He held a football camp in the summer, hosted a basketball camp in the fall. The Sparks camps, which what he calls them, focuses on mental health, financial literacy, and career transitions and skill training, of course. Now, Dom plans to expand the number of Spark camps he wants to hold next year.
We're looking to run some in different communities next year across Canada, and then the big one in Windsor again in the summertime, and then the basketball one probably early fall of next year. So excited to keep it going and really excited about the mission behind it.
Hopefully that expansion goes through there. Okay, the Windsor Diving Club sent 5 swimmers to England. 3 came back with medals.
They did really well. The best part of this story is that one of the divers, 13 years old, she was petrified of heights until she got into diving, of course. Now, that's Avery Cowan, who was into trampoline before. She saw diving at the Olympics and decided that's what she wanted to do despite a fear of heights. Now, she won gold at a recent meet in England on the 10-meter platform. That's that really tall one there. Charlie Ramirez and Jocelyn Casey won silver at their respective events. Now, let's hear from the girls.
I was really proud of myself because after my first 8 dives, I made it into finals, and then I did some really good 3 dives in finals, which got me the spot.
I was really proud of myself. I don't know how I did, but like, I know that there's like improvements that I could have done, but I was really happy.
Just show everyone that, you know, like not only does injuries set you back, but you could also come back from them.
I remember the first time I was at 80 Knox Arena, maybe 15. We had to do the top platform and just jump off it. I was standing there going, oh my Lord. Like I'm afraid of heights, and that was a moment. So God bless these girls for doing what they do.
And you hit hard, right, when you hit the water?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would never want to do a belly flop off one of those things.
Yeah, my nephew Liam, he's about 9. He just started in diving, so I'm getting more and more into it. It's exciting to see them watch, but he was afraid too. He was terrified.
But now they're champs, right? So you know what? Kudos to them for doing what they do, and yeah, this is awesome. They're gonna do well.
Yeah, congrats, girls, again. Okay, thank you, Bob, with On the Sidelines tonight. Cans for a Cause is back for its 22nd year.
Join us as we broadcast live from Devonshire Mall.
We'll be collecting cash and non-perishable food items for the Society of St. Vincent de Paul.
We need your help, generosity, and goodwill.
Visit us online for more information.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. Join us for the 22nd annual Cans for a Cause at Devonshire Mall, December the 12th, in support of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. Help feed those in need this holiday season. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kantner. And Melanie, you have more for us on that very exciting fish find at the University of Windsor.
That's right. Travis told us about those rare conjoined salmon twins. But what I was wondering is what happens with all the fish at the center when the students are done with them. They get released into the wild. Many of the salmon, sturgeon, and other fish swimming around inside are hatched at the facility in LaSalle, where students study them until they reach maturity. The team then releases them into the Great Lakes. The students were mid-research when they made this exciting discovery.
The graduate students are doing their research, looking at the health of the salmon for the Great Lakes, and they're looking through thousands and thousands of eggs and fish. And so they're looking at health metrics. In other words, they're looking at how many fish survive, which ones hatch, when do they hatch, and they found this conjoined twin during that process.
We also have a story, Melanie, on the website about recent retail thefts.
Yeah, a second suspect has now been arrested. Police say $1,400 worth of tools were taken from a business on Cabana Road on October 24th and 28th. A 33-year-old man was arrested earlier this month. Now a 47-year-old man has also been arrested. Both are charged with theft under $5,000. And in our social spotlight, Memphis Zoo is showing off its newest adorable baby animal. This is Rahishi, a baby giraffe who was born at the Memphis Zoo on November 17th, weighing 127 pounds. The zoo says he's doing great, exploring his pen and learning to operate those lanky legs.
You know what, Melanie? It doesn't matter what type of animal is born at the zoo. When you see them as just cute little babies, they're so adorable, and they can't obviously help but make you smile.
I know. I just love to watch them running and racing around in their pen.
Okay, Melanie Kentner with Happening Now. Thank you so much, Mel.
Oh my God. Oh my God!
A sunrise plunge, then pure panic. When we return, a wild encounter caught on camera. Terribly cold and windy out there.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Snow and cold. Yes.
When we brought the kids to their bus stop today, listen, it was the first day, like we all had to go like this and like huddle to keep warm for like the 2 to 3 minutes before the bus came. Hey, it's a challenge out there.
I'm kidding, folks. Look, hey, it's cold. I'm loving the cold. And it's good. It's fall. Right after the next, 3-4 hours, we'll get a bit of a break, and then the winds ramp up again through the overnight. Look at the temperatures in the lower single digits. I'm getting ready to flood my backyard.
Ooh,
ice rink.
For an ice rink?
I'm putting the boards down already, right? I'm very happy
Send me
camper.
photos as soon as it solidifies.
I'm going to post this on my desk with that. It's cold, windy.
Okay, thank you. Michelle, we are headed to Harrow tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary's probably the only person thrilled with that forecast. Okay, focusing back on the news, the town of Essex is hosting a meeting about the Drainage Act tonight. We know that sounds sort of dull. However, the mayor is encouraging residents to come out to learn about the measures the town is taking to mitigate flooding and what more they can do to protect properties and homes, specifically those in the rural parts of the town of Essex. Also, it's Cans for a Cause night at the Windsor Spitfires games. We'll bring you the game highlights and hopefully see plenty of food donations. That's all coming up tonight.
That's the best night. All the teddy bears come down. It's incredible.
That was on Sunday. Tonight is, so tonight there are, Cans for a Cause. The good folks at St. Vincent de Paul are hoping people will bring a donation to tonight's game.
Okay,
so,
give what you can. And we leave our viewers tonight talking about a story about jumping into the ocean off Canada's west coast at the end of November. It takes, a lot of courage. But the frigid dip quickly became the last thing on the minds of two swimmers when they discovered they had some company. Here's CTV's Andrew Johnson.
A sunrise cold plunge for two pals took a dramatic turn when a sea lion shot out of the water to take a closer look.
Oh my God. Oh my God!
And with that, this swim was cut short.
Okay.
The two men scrambling out of the ocean off Victoria are Ennio Titarenko and Andrew Wierzbicki. For Wierzbicki, a prairie boy, the water is an acquired taste and a personal test.
I, myself, not so comfortable in the ocean. That's also another reason why I go in the ocean. It's the most powerful force on Earth.
That's why when a sea lion appeared a few meters away, Andrew reacted like this.
He's way too close. Dude, it's okay. It is not okay.
Ennio, the more confident of the pair, is a former commercial diver.
I wasn't really fazed. I've spent a ton of time around sea lions. I've scratched their belly before like puppies.
He did not anticipate this.
I was like, okay, it's very clear he wants us to leave, so we're just going to leave.
I was scared, honestly. Like, he's a big animal, and I'm in his environment. I ain't fighting a sea lion. There's no way that that's going to happen.
Leaving was the right move, according to one expert, but slowly.
Best thing anybody can do, whether it's with a sea lion or a grizzly bear, is to slowly back away from the situation. And don't falsely assume that it's all going to be fine.
He says the sea lion was probably as scared as the two swimmers and offers one more piece of advice.
Trust your gut instincts before you trust your best friend.
I'll never listen to you on that shit again.
Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Wow. As we just mentioned during the story, a big animal, and yes, he was in the sea lion's environment. Stay back.
Yeah, they're more scared than you are.
Yeah, that's a big animal in the water. Beautiful shot, great setup, but
a great sunset as well.
Right, once in a lifetime, sea lion chomps down on two podcasters.
Thankfully there's no injuries they were reporting on. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
Bundle up. It's cold and windy with your forecast, of course. Coming up, preempted tomorrow, you can catch all of it online.
Gary and I will be back tonight with your only late local newscast at 11.
Good night.